My name is Emeka, and it is my pleasure to welcome you to Mount Props.
First time I met Danny was in this very room. James Nade dragged me to a poetry reading here, which I had never been to. And Danny was reading his poetry, and I was actually a little upset because I thought to myself, how come I never knew this poetry was around before? I felt like I had, the first 42 years of my life had been deprived, that I had not had Hafiz in my life. So I'm just thrilled to be reading with Danny tonight, and very appreciative of his many years of doing this great translation.
Renderings or tamperings, that's a better word.
There is an open door somewhere in the universe, perpetually calling us to journey closer to the sound of beauty, inviting all the tears we feel about loss and ugliness to cascade on the floor beneath us, like a great sadness loosened, like remnants leading us to a mysterious threshold, one that we rarely think about crossing over. Too big, too small, no time. And then we wonder why we feel cramped and silent. If that doorway which calls us could entice us through, perhaps we would find a prayer, like a symphony in our voice, slipping from us like praise, emerging from us like the sound of a single sigh, for all that beauty which we have walked into and become. She dreamed of the day she would have enough courage to drop her idea of the way it should be. Then she would step into the wild pool and bathe into the joy that only this letting go could bring. When her heart asked her, "When will this be?" she ran 1,000 miles away and over her shoulder looked to see if it followed. We throw bricks at our heart as if we could break that love. And when we finally hold our own hand and say to that mirror image, "You, so beautiful, so beautiful," our hearts will shine, and we will find that courage was enough. It was enough all along.
Very beautiful, isn't it? Very beautiful. Here goes. And then she began to sing, and then the drum began to sing, and no one who heard them was not then glad to not be alive. And when she began to sing, and when he began to sing, there was no one who heard them who was not then glad to be alive. I pull a sun from my coin purse, and at night I let my pet the moon run freely into the sky meadow. If I whistled, she would turn her head and look at me. If I then waved my arms, she would come back, wagging a marvelous tail of stars. There are always a few men like me in this world who are house-sitting for God. We share his royal duties. I water each day a favorite potted plant of his, this earth. Ask the beloved for love, ask him again. For I have learned that every heart will get what it prays for most. That the agony began, the fear and questions came, and I wept, in tears I had never known before. So I returned to the river, I returned to the mountains, I asked for their hand in marriage again, I begged to wed every object and creature. And when they accepted, God was ever present in my arms. And he did not say, "Where have you been?" But then I knew my soul, every soul, has always held him.